All right, so we've seen that we can write assembly language instructions that execute one line after the other. And we've seen that we can use a branch instruction to skip over lines of assembly, and that we could create labels to name the addresses where lines of code live. We saw pseudo instructions that just generate, that tell the assembler what to do instead of translating code. I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to show you a couple things that I don't see in your book about writing code in PEP8 because they make it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to try to do some branching where it does it conditionally. So instead of just skipping to a new instruction or skipping to a new label, it'll only go to that label if some condition is true. And that allows you to make decisions in your program, which is really important in making machines that do interesting things. So to start with, I'm going to create the Hello World program, but I'm going to do it in a different way. We've seen the char program to output a character, but you can actually just write in single quotes the letter that you want to output. I spent a lot of time looking up what the ASCII codes were for the letter H before. You can just type it in quotes like that. So Hello World can be written like this. And it doesn't seem to care about the case of the command. So you see that I accidentally made the O lowercase in one of those caros. So here we have a little assembly language program. It builds just fine, and if I run it, it prints hello. So that's pretty convenient. In addition, for commands that require numbers, you can literally just type in the numbers. So when I want to load something into the register A, if I wanted to load, 1, 2, 3, 4 into register A, I can just type in load. The problem, yeah, that should fit. I could load 1, 2, 3, 4 into A, and then in order to inspect it, I'm just going to debug. So there's my instruction, and I debug. I do a single step, and 1, 2, 3, 4 was loaded into the A register. So that's a couple of things that make programming convenient. Also, if you hit Help and you go to PEP8 reference, it'll take you right to a whole bunch of different assembly language mnemonics and their explanation. Some of them might not make sense to you. We've seen branching. We're going to talk about branching if less or branching if equal, and you should be able to figure out the other ones. We have been able to, so here we see where it says add R, that adds to some register R. So we've been using add A to add to register A, but you can also load into A, which loads 2 bytes, a word, or you can use load byte into A, and that only loads 1 byte into the A register. So those things are kind of helpful. So there's one here called STRO, and it says it's a string output trap. We're not going to talk about what traps are. They allow multiple instructions to happen as if they were one instruction. But I'll just show you how this makes the Hello World program a little easier. If we create a variable called message, and it's an ASCII string with the word hello, and all strings must end with a zero, a hexadecimal 0. In order to be used with this special string output trap I'm going to show you. Once you've done that in assembly, you can say string output the message, reading it from memory down here. So we're going to read that from memory, and then when we're done, we stop. Of course, I put my data down at the bottom, and then end. So I'll show you this real quick. If I run it, it output hello. Let me make it do something different. Hello world. Build it, run it, and you can see here it outputs hello world, something different than what was there before. So it's able to output the entire string. So that is, if you actually wanted to do anything interesting, a little bit of a shortcut. And generally we're going to want to organize our programs more like this. You put all of your strings and other constants and other data up at the top, and then you just branch to main. So we have talked about branching, and I've shown you even in assembly, generally the assembly language instructions only do one tiny bit of programming at a time, but it's possible to make them do a little bit more. This might save us some headaches when I show you the next thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video now. In a next video, I'm going to show you some of the conditional branching instructions that let you maybe print different things out depending on what happens.